In this video, we're going to be taking a look at another Count Dooku for the 3 3/4 inch line, and this one was released in the Saga line back in around 2002, 2003. So this is an action figure I did get at the time, not this particular one you're looking at, but I did own this Count Dooku. I believe I got it for Christmas in either 2002 or 2003, one of the two. And for many years, this was one of the best Count Dookus. I would say as I mentioned in the Revenge of the Sith Count Dooku, I think that one's the best one that Hasbro's made to date in 3 3/4 inch scale. But this one's really good as well. I would say this one might be the second best or the third best. So it's up there. Not a whole lot to say about it. It's pretty basic for what it contains. Yeah. Just recalled I accidentally left an accessory out of this. There we go. So I unfortunately ended up losing the original Count Dooku of this that I had. And I did have the cape for many years. Many years after I ended up losing it. And then it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago at this point I went ahead and reacquired one. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad to own this for my collection, and I wish I still had the original, but unfortunately I don't. So hopefully I have this one for many years to come. I don't have the package to show you, but if you know what the blue Saga package looks like, where it has the Luke Skywalker's hands posed like in the original trilogy posters, and it's all blue, and then it advertises the figure on the back, that's all it is. But maybe in the thumbnail I'll edit in what a package would look like here in the future, but as of right now I don't have the package. But that's okay. Not much to really say about that. I suppose we'll just go ahead and jump into what this figure looks like. So as far as head sculpts go, it's not the best Count Dooku, but it's pretty good. I don't think anyone's ever really complained about this. Everyone knows exactly what they're getting, and given the time period it was, and for a first attempt at Count Dooku, I'm pretty sure this was the very first Count Dooku action figure that we got. And on the package it was labeled as Count Dooku. I know there was another Saga action figure that was labeled as Darth Tyrannus, but this one was not. But he's pretty basic for what he is. If you just need a cheap fill-in for your collection for Count Dooku, this one's a great contender for that. He has his mostly black suit with some browns and his black boots. So in terms of articulation, he does have a swivel neck, and he does have swivel shoulders, and this one's a swivel wrist here. No articulation in this wrist. Technically it's a swivel waist. He does have an action feature about him that I'll show off here in a minute. So he does have a little bit of a clanky waist if you're wanting to articulate that. He does have swivel hips, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And no articulation in knees or ankles. So what was that? Basically 6 POA. But he's pretty much in the poses that you could want him in. I mean, if you want him in a more neutral position where he's not really fighting, you can do that. Or if you do want him in a action pose, you can get him into that as well. Count Dooku's more of a fencer, so you can kind of get that look for him. So in terms of weapons and accessories, of course he comes with his signature lightsaber. And I think you might be able to pull a blade out of that. Let me check. No, that looks like that's part of the lightsaber actually. So it is all one piece, and there is nowhere to plug a lightsaber hilt on his belt. You need to drill that separately if you really wanted to do that. So his cape does come off. He does have the chain sculpted onto his tunic. And here's his cape. It's just a plastic piece. It's pretty durable for what it is. You just slap it on the place like that. He does come with this extra Anakin lightsaber for when they're dueling it out with one another. And this one does have a removable blade. An interesting feature about this is that the hilt is magnetic. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, Count Dooku does have a magnet in his hand there, but you can't really utilize it very well because his grip is kind of small. So I would assume you're supposed to do some pose with him where it looks like he's using the Force to take the lightsaber out of Anakin's hand or something like that. So that option's always there for you. And of course you probably wouldn't display it with the green hilt involved. Do something like that, I suppose. I do have the... Actually, I will say that from the original I still have the green lightsaber that came with that action figure to this date. So I have two of these. And that particular one might be it, actually. Let's see here. Let me just take this one out here real quick. My bag of Star Wars accessories I have, but yeah, here's the second one here, the same exact thing. So I'm not sure which one's which. I think this one might actually be it. Yeah, because the paint's a little more worn on it. So the one I showed you a few minutes ago, that's the original one that I had. That came with the original Count Dooku that I had. So that's all I have left of it. And as you can see, the paint is kind of worn. The original's on the left here, and the newer one that came with this figure is on the right. And as you can see, the paint is severely worn. And also, he does come with a Darth Sidious hologram. This has come with a few other action figures before, and I'm pretty sure I have featured this on the channel with the Lot Dodd action figure, if you want to check that out. So kind of the precursor to what we got in the Saga collection, where we had all those holographic action figures. And this one's really good. I suppose if you are into dioramas, you could make like a hologram table of Darth Sidious conversing with Lord Tyrannus here, telling him about how well he did. Count Dooku telling him about how he's got good news for him, about how the war's begun. That is all the accessories this action figure comes with. And I will do a couple comparisons here. Here's the Legacy Collection Count Dooku. And here's the Revenge of the Sith Count Dooku. So you can see big difference between all three of them. And I think the Revenge of the Sith one is the best one that Hasbro's made. This one, the Legacy Collection one's okay, but I don't think it looks completely like Christopher Lee. And plus the way his neck is positioned, he kind of has that upward look to him. And it's just kind of awkward how they made it. Plus the cape is a little flamboyant, I think. It doesn't have quite the same flow as like the Revenge of the Sith one, or even this plastic cape. So, would I recommend this Count Dooku for your collection? I would. If you could only pick one for your collection, or if you only want one, I would say get the Revenge of the Sith action figure. But if you're just looking for something really cheap, really affordable that you want like right now, and you don't want to spend maybe more than $10 for a Count Dooku, this Attack of Clones one is a great contender for that. And it might be the only contender for that, actually. Because the other two Count Dookus, this one you could probably get for like $20 free shipping. This one might be a little more pricey in the $30 or $40 range. This Attack of Clones one is usually pretty consistent, where it's like $10 or less, even if you get him brand new. Now, if you get him loose, you might be able to get him for a little bit less than that with free shipping. So he's a great Count Dooku. He's not the best Count Dooku, but he's definitely up there, and he's good enough to get the point across where you can look at it and say, yes, that is Count Dooku, and you can use him for just about anything you could really want to. You can get him in all the poses that you could want, and he has all the accessories he really needs. So he's a great action figure all around, and I would highly recommend him. And even if you want multiple Count Dookus for your collection, this is a great one to have alongside the rest. So anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. There will be plenty more to come. And if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate your support. And check out some of the links in the description as well. Thanks for watching.